Hey, yes, you! Have you ever seen a bird of paradise dancing for a female before? No, not this one. I'm talking about the real-life birds of paradise. These guys don't mind letting loose to woo a female. Likewise, once grown, many species of birds find themselves overwhelmed with the primal urge to bust a move. Some would even gather in leagues, just like in nightclubs, to dance and pique the interest of nearby females, while others simply perform feats of endurance and strength to prove they're worthy mates. And in other birds, both the male and female dance together as a pair while putting on a show. Without wasting any more time, we present you with a sampling of the best bird mating dances out there. Watch, learn, and you could even take a few notes. Hello, and welcome to another mind-blowing episode of Forever Green. And in this video, we'll be showing the birds with the sickest moves. Let's get right into it. Number 25. Western and Clark's Grebes. We chose to group these two species together as they are similar in more ways than one. They showcase elegance and penchant with their breathtaking mating dance. They begin their courtship by mimicking each other's moves, twisting and bowing their long necks behind them. And after that, they take the choreography up a gear, like ballerinas with their point shoes on. They rise fully out of the water, running side by side on the water with their wings stretched out just behind them. Wow, it's simply amazing. 24. Sharp-tailed grouse. If you're looking for the tap dancers of the bird world, look no further. The sharp-tailed grouse is the bird you're looking for. During the mating season, male sharp-tailed grouse gather in a group and kickstart their show. They start by rising up with wings outstretched, heads bowed down and their tails pointing to the sky. This is followed by the expansion of their purple air sacs and the rapid stumping of their feet, kind of like a wound-up toy with their forward, backward, and circular movements, accompanied by the mechanical patter of their feet stumping the ground. Number 23. Ostriches. With plumage that was once as expansive as diamonds and gold, you'd understand why the ostrich's preferred mode of seduction is the act of displaying his elegant feathers. His slow whine is all in a bid to look enticing to the female, enticing enough to win a date or a mate. During their mating season, the cock's plumage usually attains its brightest colors, adding color to an already remarkable performance. If the female likes what she sees, she raises her wings horizontally and flutters the tips gently. The show comes to an end with the female crouching for the male to perform the mating act. Ostriches may be the largest birds on the planet, but when it comes to dancing, boy, do they do it gracefully. Number 22. Laysan albatross. If you were a Laysan albatross, such a weird name by the way, at age 3, you'd have to return to your birthplace to start to learn a new way of courtship. These birds have inept dancing skills good enough to woo a mate, but they just haven't developed it yet. Attaining puberty for them is perfecting their dance moves. They start off by gathering in small groups to practice, and over the years, those groups become smaller until the confident birds are ready for the partnered dance, like these guys. Check out those moves! The duo practice to perfect moves, such as the sky snap, bob strut, and rapid bill clapper, in a sequence that is unique to them. Only then can they mate and lay their eggs, typically at the age of 8 or 9. Talk about working for that perfect relationship. Number 21. Jackson's Widowbird. When these birds perform mate-finding activities, they engage in a jumping contest. Seriously, look at them. These Kenya and Tanzania native birds have a mating ritual as absurd yet extraordinary as the other birds in this video. But they chose to keep things simple. They compete in a good old-fashioned contest of jumping. The males with their sleek, shiny black feathers gather in a field and jump as high as they can for as long as they can. The winner of the contest is one with the most endurance and gets to literally go home with one of the females watching nearby. You think this is bizarre? Wait till you see our number 1 pick. Number 20. Hooded Grebes. If this isn't the funniest mating display out there, I don't know what is. These birds go bonkers with their courtship dance routine. Their routine isn't too different from their cousins. They mirror the others' moves, but instead of the ballerina-esque water dance, they do the tango, which was originated from their native Argentina. We wouldn't know if they learned the dance from the natives or if it's the other way around. Number 19. Greater Sage Grouse. Like the frigate bird, greater sage grouse has a pouch, air sac actually, used to lure females. Their dance? You've got to see it to believe it. These massive chicken relatives don a regal look, frilly cravat of bright white feathers, a spiked tail fin, and loads of chest they proudly display. At first light, they gather at the leek during the mating season to perform what's known as a strutting display. They then make their signature plop sound by popping their brightly colored air sacs, and the sound can be heard as far away as 3 kilometers. This is just what is needed to attract females, given the nature of their habitat. Number 18. Red-capped manakin. Red-capped manakin, or you can call them moonwalking manakin, have over 50 species. But we're not here to talk about bird species. The bird's mating ritual is one that catches the eye, humans and female birds alike. To attract a female, these fleet-footed, brightly colored males keep their wings tucked with heads down to get the female's attention to their yellow thighs, and of course, the fancy footwork. The male also has to find a leek, ward off other males, and show off his frictionless glides and slides on the branch. The highest point of his performance has got to be Michael Jackson's moonwalk. Wow! This sure makes online dating look a lot easier. Number 17. Black-footed albatross. All albatross species have elaborate, beautiful, and bizarre mating ritual dances. Albatross are monogamous birds, sticking with one partner for the rest of their lives. The black-footed albatross's journey to finding a soulmate is no different from the laysan. They leave home at a tender age only to return in search of a partner. Furthermore, they share similar dance moves like the rapid bill clapper, sky snap, and bob strut. The only thing they added to the dance routine was the wing spread step. Besides, they wouldn't want the Lysans to think they stole their dance. Number 16. Puffins. In the Arctics of Norway, Scotland, Iceland, Russia, and Alaska, puffins are most likely the only birds whose courtship ritual is predominantly kissing or beak clapping. Puffins are seabirds found in the Arctic environments. They secrete a special oil through their tail to help waterproof their feathers in order to survive their chilly environment. In addition to their weird choice of habitat, they practice a mating ritual called billing, where the pair rub their beaks together and coo, similar to lip locking and moaning, only they don't have lips and sound nothing like humans. Number 15. Bald eagles. Beneath their mean and vicious facade, these raptors are quite the lovebirds. When bald eagles fall in love, they fall hard, literally. I mean, look at them. In what is nothing short of wow, the pair soar to a high altitude and hold hands, talons, and cartwheel through the air. They let go of each other just before reaching the ground. But there have been cases where the pair are too love drunk and don't let go until it's too late. This touchy ritual is meant to determine if their potential mate is fit and worthy of the other. Once the test is passed, the pair remain together for life, raising their family in a nest up somewhere. Number 14. Prairie chickens. Although not related to chickens, greater and lesser prairie chickens are grassland game birds that live off the open prairie ecosystem, and their mating dance isn't the fanciest out there. You may have learned the chicken dance in grade school, but here's one I dare you to try. Male prairie chickens gather at leeks or booming sites, because of the booming calls they make, inflate their sacks, stamp their chicken feet, bend and raise their head and tail feathers in order to woo a female. It's believed that this dance, which might not look like to you, is associated with the male's cognitive function, meaning the better the dance, the smarter the male. In short, the prairie chicken's world is likely the only one where the nerd gets the girl. Number 13. Costus hummingbird. A male Costus hummingbird, better known as squidface, is one that transforms in what looks like a cthulhu, with wings when it comes to performing his mating rites. He begins by swooping and diving over the female he's wooing and twists his body this way and that in the air, an act that takes tons of energy and strength. When this isn't enough, he kicks it up a gear by flexing the muscles in his face and beaming magenta feathers flare out. With the help of some sun rays, this becomes such a mesmerizing display for any female. However, this female isn't like every other female. She turns down his advances and flies away unimpressed. Number 12. Frigate bird. For most birds, their females sit in the nest, typically to hatch their eggs. But with frigate birds, the male is the one that sits in the nest. No, it's not to hatch the eggs, rather to woo his mate. The males possess red kidney-shaped pouches on their chest that they puff up like balloons to attract girls. They spend 2.5 hours inflating their pouches before taking another 2.5 hours to break. To sum it up, they sit on a nest and gyrate their chest at females flying overhead. If the female sees the male she likes, she perches beside him. Sometimes there are cases of their copulation being interrupted by jealous males who would jump on her chosen partner and try to puncture his red balloon. Number 11. Sandhill Cranes. For sandhill cranes, their mating dance is not only iconic, but also extremely awkward. The male starts doing what he can to get the female's attention, stretching his wings behind him, tilting his neck towards his body, and in some cases, throwing some grass or clumps of dirt into the air. If he succeeds in getting the female to notice him and likes what she sees, the pair begins their gangly dance. Both lovebirds exchange bows and then leap into the air. This is then followed by flapping of their wings and sometimes completing a 180-degree mid-air turn. This may not seem romantic or catchy to you, but then again, you're not a crane. Who are you to judge? Number 10. Peafowls. What we generally prefer to call peacocks are actually peafowls, since the males have to be called peacock and the females peahens. In their words, which is full of elegance and color, there's no such thing as an easy hookup. The female's, peahen's choice of a male is dependent on the size, color, and shape of his tail feathers. Hence the need for the males to be at their best, showing their best colors to the females and wiggling their tail feathers, as if to charm her with his allure. These wannabe fathers showcase their tails to the females at the leeks, and it's a battle of who has the flashiest, the fanciest tail feathers. Therefore, it's a case of sexual selection that has driven the evolution of the fancy plumage of the peacock. Number 9. Bowerbird. A lot of planning goes into the mating ritual of the bowerbird. He starts by preparing his nest by decorating it for any potential mate. And when he succeeds in luring a female over, he begins the mating ritual proper. First, he dilates his pupils alternately. Next, he warms up by making a weird call from deep in his throat. But the show wouldn't be complete without a bit of dancing. He begins to wave his wing like a matador's cape, switching between slow and fast wing movements to mesmerize the female. Only when she's satisfied with his performance will they copulate. But this time, there's an intruder and the show is off. Number 8. Greater Bird of Paradise. In Papua New Guinea, there are several different species of the birds of paradise, each having a unique yet colorful courting ritual. These birds have flipped the narrative of the female having to look attractive for the male, and the greater bird of paradise is no different. The greater bird of paradise, I wonder who gave them that name. Anyways, uses their yellow-tipped flank plumes, which turn white and streaked with maroon when they perform their courtship display. To find a mate, they make loud calling sounds to the females. It's usually a frantic scene with several males on display, so it's up to each male to bring his A-game to win the female's heart. The female only picks the most extravagant and sometimes the loudest male by perching on his branch. Number 7. Flamingos. This unintendingly hilarious show by flamingos is how they court their partners. They gather in a large group, stretch their necks, and throw their heads back and forth as they take tiny, menacing steps. They then break off in pairs to breed. And of course, there's always that one guy at the back who doesn't follow the routine. He's gonna be single for a while. Number 6. Himalayan Monal. The Himalayan Monal is a colorful pheasant bird found in the Himalayan forest of Pakistan, India, Nepal, and other neighboring places. Their courting involves displaying their stunning plumage colors along with some dazzling moves such as wing flaring, shoulder hunching, and intricate dancing sequence to be the most appealing to the females. Things some could say they picked up from a Bollywood movie scene, especially the shoulder hunching thingy. The most amazing part about this display is that it's believed that their performance not only helps them choose the best partner, it ensures healthy offspring. Number 5. Blue-footed boobies. Blue-footed boobies have a rather shy approach to courting a female. The male begins by shyly flashing his blue feet like a kid showing off his new set of shoes. Then they might give the female an object of his affection, a bow, or tickle her with his beak. And if that isn't enough, he brings out the big guns. He stretches his long, dark wings to frame his face, all the while subtly reminding her of those sexy blue feet. If she likes him enough, she'll join in the dance. These birds are, however, Casanovas and can have multiple mates at the same time. As soon as the other turns its back, they begin to scout for other prospects. Number 4. Great Argus Pheasant. The great Argus pheasants are just as rare as it is to experience their mating ritual. These birds possess an eye-like pattern on their wings, earning them the moniker the hundred-eyed bird or phoenix in some Asian areas. And their mating ritual is just as legendary. In the wild, a male first clears an open spot and prepares his stage. He then announces his presence with loud calls to attract females. Once he gets her attention, he dances in her presence with his wings spread like a peacock, revealing the 100 of his flashy eye design. Number 3. Vogelkop Superb Bird of Paradise. The Vogelkop Superb Bird of Paradise is one of the more recently discovered species of birds of paradise. These magnificent birds are similar to the smiley Superb Bird of Paradise, and so is their mating ritual. They hop back and forth around a perch with their cape and breast feathers transformed into a bright blue frown-looking face, as opposed to the oval-shaped smiley face of their close cousin. Then it's up to the female to decide. If she likes him, she'll remain transfixed on his display, even as he bounces around her. Finally, she allows him to copulate without any form of resistance. Number 2. Magnificent Riflebird. With a name like this, the magnificent Riflebird Bird of Paradise surely doesn't disappoint with his courtship display. He begins his show by stretching his elegant black wings and then drastically whips his left and then right in a quick fashion to display his iridescent blue throat. But this guy doesn't stop after catching the female's attention. Even after a female approaches, he will continue dancing, flicking his wings more rigorously while hopping toward her. If she likes him, she'll copulate with him and then raise the brood herself, or she could just opt for a better show, and on this occasion, she was not impressed. Number 1. Western Parotia Bird of Paradise. Our number 1 pick is one that participates in the most intricate and strenuous rituals in exchange for the mere chance to copulate, not unlike human males. The six-plume bird of paradise sets the mood by setting out bright red berries to decorate his bachelor's pad, because he knows the ladies love bright red berries a lot.